this is where I want to plant a seed for you. I don't think this time has been about hustle, 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 hustle. However, I do think it's an opportunity if you let it. If you want it to be this opportunity that you can give birth in a trying time to the desires of your heart. What's the deal, pickles? Y'all, this is gonna be a video. We've done these before. If you haven't been around for them, welcome. And welcome to the fam. I'm turning on the camera and I'm talking to you guys, and mostly ladies, women, because today I was watching some videos because I was pinning a quilt and I'm working on it, and today is a day where now, because I'm studying for this upcoming certification, I've been using my weekends as my study time so that I have a good separation between work time and my writing time and time to study and to grow and to develop. And I kind of took some time to pin up some I'm gonna get there, to pin up the pieces that I will sew on my breaks. And while I was doing that, I was listening to a video that captured my attention because one of the videos that I like to listen to are different planning videos and techniques and how to use your resources. I mean, it's all part of that whole craftyism thing. And the conversation kept surfacing on different videos about some issues that took place with a particular planning CEO at the time, and how it just was negatively highlighted some of the issues that are going on in the country. With that said, my daughter and I just started talking. She is in the beginning stages of building her business. She graduated at the end of last year, or the year before. Dang, she graduated. There we go. When?
2018.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
it's only been 2 years.
Okay, it's been a minute, but she's starting her business. Oh, because at the beginning of the year, there we go, she started working or leasing a space in a salon, bringing on new clients, and then I'll take it. All of these things started really kicking off end of February, beginning of March. And this is when she's building her clientele, building her business. And I'm saying all of this to get to this point. A lot of things that are going on right now, pause for the cause. This is my own opinions. If this is not your thing, you're free to click out. But my concern is that we look at what's going on, address what's going on, but at the same time, how is it that we can turn this thing around for our good today, right? Because I don't believe that any of these things are going to change today or tomorrow or even next week. But how do you turn it around right now for your good? At the beginning of all of this, all of the pandemic shutdown, the then rolling into everything else, everyone being closed inside. At first, it was this like hustler mentality. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Get your hustle up. You haven't taken a class? Take a class. Take 5 classes. Take 20 classes. You haven't started your business? Here's your time, sis. Start your business. All these things, and everything kind of flooded in. And for me, as a person that works 100% off of self-employment, clients, book royalties, that is a shift and a change, but it's really not a huge one because we've always been responsible for our time, how we manage it, what projects we bring on, being creative, inciting new things going on in our company. So that part wasn't as big of a hiccup. What became a hiccup was just the overwhelming sense of just, is this really going on? Like managing your head and heart space in a way where you had to really be very watchful or mindful of where you placed your energy, how much TV you were consuming, how much news you were consuming, how much social media you were consuming, and who were you listening to, and what were you allowing to infiltrate. Even us having a sense of hopefully shelter in our homes, but we're still allowing all of these things to flood in, flood in, flood in, flood in. And for me, every bit of it nips at me. It nips at your peace. It nips at your quiet time. It nips at, you just having a clear headspace. And again, I don't have any notes written, so y'all just roll with your girl. So with that said, I had to get to a place where I cut out the social media or downplayed the social media. I only go on so many times a day, and for some, only so many times a week. I really put pen to paper, or for me, my iPad, of what I really want. And this is where I want to plant a seed for you. I don't think this time has been about hustle, 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 hustle. However, I do think it's an opportunity if you let it. If you want it to be this opportunity that you can give birth in a trying time to the desires of your heart. Think about that. Like, I had to really say to myself, even for someone that already works from home, when are you going to get this space and time when everyone's pretty much locked down? And you have this, I have really in this time redefined a new normal for myself, and I have held on to it, and I intend to keep it. In a sense of how I order my days, how I order my hours, working out almost every single day, in the Word every single day, journaling every single day. And that has been intentional because I am looking at this as an opportunity. As a believer, I do not believe anything is by chance. God is not surprised by what is going on, and He has already prepared and equipped us, even if the transition is uncomfortable. And it is I'm not going to talk about, everybody has their own faith and their own beliefs. The main point for this, for me to say to you is, what if you use this as an opportunity? What would you do with it? What would you do differently? Would you maybe invest the $10 or whatever to take some classes on Skillshare? Not sponsored. Wouldn't mind it, but I'm not. But the point is, sometimes we need to just sit down and think about, what would I do? Would I start a crafting business? Would I learn how to quilt? Would I learn how to knit? Would I learn how to crochet? Would I learn how to plan? Would I go back to school? Would I, instead of going back to school, start just investing in some books, reading, filling in the gaps of my areas of knowledge, challenging myself? Don't wait for your boss to challenge you. Don't wait for some outside source. You be the source of that next wave of your life. What if? What if? And listen, a lot of us may be mothers because we're women. I feel like we have always y'all, I'm generalizing, but roll with me. We have always been the ones that manage our households, manage how our kids are doing. Do they need socks? Do we need laundry detergent? Do we need groceries? What do we need? We've done it. You have the ability. What happens when we transfer that to our dreams? Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Now is the time. It is time to do something different. How can you positively affect the things that are going on in our culture, in our country, by you standing up and giving the gifts that you have to our global issues? Do I believe crafting is a part of that? Heck yes. Why? Because we need peace. We need balance. People need to know that they're seen, that they're heard, that they are loved. And we each have a part that we play. Everyone won't stand in protest, but everyone can do something using your gifts. But it's only if you embrace them. It's only if you learn from them. It's only if you say, Dana, what are we about to do? How are we going to allow this time to not be usurped by bigotry and hate and racism and anger and death and bloodshed and kids dying and people not losing their loved ones to this thing? That the reality is we're learning that we can't control so much. But what do we do with the things that we can control? You can control how you respond. You can control how you use your time. You can control where you invest your money and your efforts. Are you doing it? Hey, I'm with you. I had to let the rubber meet the road. It's a cliche, but that's what it had to do. I had to say, okay, Dana, what are you doing? I'm reading more. I'm studying more. I'm writing more, not just in my fiction books, but writing to express the things that I've learned to help other people to do the same. But it's because I'm intentional about it. And I'm seeing fruit, little bitty pieces, but fruit from my efforts. I am seeing growth in my quoting abilities. Is that a part of what I want to do down the line? Who knows? But it gives me peace. I'll take it. It allows me to balance myself in this time. I've grown in my relationships with my children and my husband because I'm being intentional about the conversations, the time that I spend with them. I don't think I have every right, and I do say right, to be angry and upset, to have concern because I'm a mother of 2 boys, a daughter, wife to a black man. I'm a black woman. You know, I am a small business owner. I am an entrepreneur. I am still a person that is very active in giving to my communities. I have been touched by some things that I never thought I'd experience in this time, but I also believe in the ability to control or to take a hold of what I can control and how I respond and how I do it. And that I truly believe I have everything in me to do what is called of me in this moment. I just got to find it. I've got to trust it. I have to trust the spirit in me over the outside noise of the world. And I had to say this to you today. You know, you always know, put comments in the comment section. You have questions about how to do something, put it there. I have in this time also said, you know, there are some things that I've always wanted to do with this channel that either I have done or haven't done. You know, would I like to grow it? Yes. Would I love to be able to make this another extension of my companies, I would, but it doesn't have to be. That was never the original intent. But it also means that I have decided in this season to extend the offer. And if it's not accepted, then it's not needed. And I'm okay with that. And I place that energy and that effort somewhere else. Because these are things, in my opinion, in my reality, that I know for me. I know for me to be able to put it in my business. I know for me to be able to pour it into my children and into my marriage and to the people that I mentor and into my clients. But here it's something that if it's something that you desire more of, you're going to have to ask for it. And if it's not asked for, then it tells me that this is not the space that needs it, right? And so I'm saying all this to say, you have questions, ask them. People can only do one thing. This is the thing I always told my kids. You want something, ask for it. People have two choices, yes or no. But it's a no if you don't ask. Scripture tells us you have not because you ask not. And I think that goes with every relationship. If you want to know about how to do something, ask. They can only say yes or no. They can only say, well, here's a resource or not. But it's up to you. There is this story in the Bible that I've always loved, and it's one of my favorite stories in the Bible, and I could butcher it up a little bit, but just roll with me. It's about Caleb. Caleb was one of the many Israelites that were in the desert, that they went around 40 years for something that should have probably taken them 40 days, that they had to keep going around and around, wandering in the desert so that they could learn this lesson, really, in trusting God, to doing the things that they needed to do, to not grumble, to accept the provision that God had made. And it's a number of lessons that they learned. While in the wilderness, Moses sent in a team to the promised land, which was promised to them already, to scout out the land. They go to the land, they come back with the report, they make it seem like they're too big, we can't do it. There was a few people that said, I think it was 3 that said, we can do this. We can go in and we can seize this land. And they listened to the reports of the others, but the ones that said we can do this were Aaron, I believe, Joshua, and I believe Caleb. I could be wrong. Actually, let me change my battery. Battery changed. So there were people that went in to the promised land, and they came back with the report, essentially believing what God said about their ability to go in. But in the end, the overwhelming report, the negative report, the report that didn't believe in faith was the report that was embraced. But the point of the story was that one of those people that believed was Caleb. And afterwards, God told Caleb the land that he went out and that he scouted, that God said he would give that land to Caleb. Essentially, that he would give Caleb what he promised him, which was, in this case, that land. Years go on. Time has passed. Moses is in the process of allotting the land to the different tribes to go into the promised land. And Caleb stands up and says, I want the land that God promised me. And the land at the time was I believe it was like either giants or there was people in the land that Caleb would have to go in to conquer the land, that he would have to essentially in his old age say, he said, I am strong enough, basically, I'm strong enough, I believe, give me the land, promise me the land, and I'll do what it takes to conquer the land. Now, listen, I understand how this could be misconstrued with everything that's going on. The point of this story that has always resonated with me is that there is a promise, but you have to stand up to take hold of that promise. Even when some things are gifted to you, right? You may have the gift of writing, the gift of speaking, the gift to make things. But if you don't do anything with it, nothing will happen. You have to stand up and say, give me my mountain. Give me what I've worked for. And sometimes it's not that you receive the gift from those who you think it will come from, but that does not mean that you will be, that you won't receive that gift. That's the point where your mind has got to be open. You've got to be looking to the left and to the right to see where your help comes from. You see what I'm saying? And that is about. It's about so many things. That's not what this video is about. But what I will say is this. You've got to do something. You've got to make a plan. You've got to decide. You have to act. You have to move in faith. You cannot, if we as a people, I'm going to say it like this, wait for the government to do anything, when do you believe that will happen? It's okay. I'll wait. Do you have the luxury of waiting that long? Whatever time you put on it. Do you have the luxury? Do you want to wait that long? So what will we do? What will you do? My decision is to work my plan. I sat down. I thought about the amount of time that I can invest into this. What I want for myself and my family and my business when I come out on the other side. What I want for and desire for my clients to be able to have some sort of financial independence through their own words and their own work, and to help them in doing that. For the women that I mentor, that they also have that type of freedom and guidance, and that I can use any type of trials that I've experienced, hurt that I've experienced, lessons I've experienced, successes, wins, victories that I've experienced, to be passed on to my daughter and to the women that I can help right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, today. That is something I can do. And that's not everybody's thing. I get it, but that's not the point. The point is for you to sit down and say, sis, like, what can I do? What do I want to do? And a lot of us, we have something. It's in each and every one of us. Something. Whether we push it aside, we ignore it, we don't honor it, we don't trust it, we don't value it. So what are the small steps that you can do to say, dream, I hear you. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I hear you. Or my business, I hear you. I don't know how I will get the funds to do what I need to do, but I hear you. Because one of the lessons, and I don't think I have the words right now to fully articulate this, but I'll try, that I've learned is that every single thing that I need right this minute, I have. I have it. Now, do I like it? Would I like more? I don't know. That's where we get in our own way. But I believe that. And my goal and my challenge to myself is operate in that belief. Walk in that belief. Expecting nothing but the best for my life and my children, even when I don't get it. Even though it's uncomfortable. Even though it's hard. And that's why, I don't know, y'all. That's why I turned this camera on. I heard those things and I'm like, something has got to change. And the first place that you can change it is in here. And in here. And you can only change it for you. And I can only change it for me. And when we do this, we help each other to make that shift into that change. But I can't make you and you can't make me, right? But the reality is, in all of this, I need you to make that change. That's the way this whole thing is built up. We think we do stuff in isolation, but we don't. We think we do things exclusive of the other, but we don't. That's not how life works. Newsflash. Sorry to be the one to tell you if you didn't know, but it's the truth. So I need you to do that. And you need me to do my part. With that said, I don't know how long this video is. If you have comments, questions, concerns, places where you're stuck, leave them in the comment section. It's got to be a community effort. And I'm unapologetic about that. It's a community effort. And what are the things that you can do? What are the gifts that you have that you can use this time to nurture? And it doesn't have to be a million hours. Like, it could be 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day, 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes a week. How much further can you be at the end of the month when you've done, you know what, that's an hour, 5 or 6 hours towards your goals? Dedicated time towards your goals that start with 10 minutes. Baby, you could change the world. You can change the world. And that's what we all can do. So with that said, y'all, your girl is out. I'm gonna put this thing together, put it up. My prayers are with you and your family. And this is a time where you just, like, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. And that's what I'm doing. And I hope that you're doing the same. And I'm out. I will talk with you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.